Welcome to So Much Fun. I'm Colleen Murphy and I teach sewing. Today I want to show you how we can do French seams. And usually when you do French seams, it'll be for fabric that is very thin and drapey and will fringe quite a bit. And you need to get those seams enclosed. Serging is not always the best option for this. You want to enclose the seams. That way you'll have a finished edge and it will look much better than if you had serged. So here's an example of a garment that I made doing nothing but French seams. Here's the garment, and you can tell it's very delicate and the fabric is very thin. So if I had chosen to serge those seams, that serge stitch would have shown through the fabric. And I did not think that that was a good option. I did not want that to happen. So instead, I went with the French seam. So I'm going to put it down here so we can take a closer look at the seams. Now, you notice that, again, as I mentioned just a minute ago, that the seams are enclosed. You can't see the raw edge. There's no raw edge showing at all. And it really looks as good on the inside as it does on the outside. But it's for fabric that's very delicate and thin. It has a good drape to it. That is the most appropriate, I think, for that French seam technique. Now, how do we do that? I'm going to show you an example, but I'm not using fabric like this because I want you to be able to see what is so essential for the first step. For step one, you are sewing wrong sides together. Very important. You're not sewing right sides together. You're sewing wrong sides together. And when you do that, you're not doing a 5/8 inch seam. You're going to finish it up with a 5/8 inch, but you start out putting wrong sides together, and then you're sewing a 3/8 inch seam. That's your very first step. Wrong sides together, 3/8 inch seam. Once you've done that, then you're going to fold it, you're going to trim it. You're going to trim those edges down to like 1/8 of an inch or even closer if you need to. I'm using different type of fabric because I want you to see in this first step how we had wrong sides together. Then you're going to trim this off. And once you've trimmed it, then you're going to fold it over, and that means when you sew your next seam, it's right sides together. And when you press it right on that seam that you just sewed, and then you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam. So 1/4 of an inch and 3/8 of an inch equals 5/8 of an inch. So you get your 5/8 inch seam. I'm going to open this up now. And I didn't finish it completely because I'm going to keep this sample. So if somebody asks me whenever that they want to do a French seam, they'll be able to see that right inside here, I trimmed it down to about 1/8 of an inch before I sewed my 1/4 inch seam, which is the second step to a French seam. And then in pressing, you would press it to what would be the back of the garment, not to the front. And basically, that's all there is to it.